This is an age of disruption, of profound revolutionary change.
What we're really asking ministers is to empower the ambassadors.
The only thing that you really push forth is the truth.
You don't see many women represented when it comes to the decisions as to how to handle the pandemic.
Good evening. I'm Jamil Andolini. I'm the editor-in-chief of Politico here in Europe. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very warm welcome to the annual Politico 28 Gala Dinner. This is the event where the most powerful newsroom in Brussels recognizes and predicts the most powerful figures in Europe for the coming year. This is not an award, nor an endorsement of any of these figures, merely a recognition of the power they wield and will wield. Earlier today, we unveiled most of the people on the 2024 list. Soon we will tell you the finalists, and then the person we believe will be most powerful in Europe next year. Presently, we will hear from our partner, Uber, and I will interview the President of the European Commission, who takes a very prominent place on our power list this year. But before that, I would really like to thank my colleagues at Politico, especially my colleagues in the newsroom. We have had a spectacularly good year from a journalistic perspective. Some big highlights from my perspective were an exclusive interview with the French President, Emmanuel Macron, on his plane back from China, conducted by a talented, young, up-and-coming journalist by the name of Jamil Andolini. Young and talented. And we had an extremely rare televised interview with Sir Richard Moore, the head of MI6, the UK's secret intelligence service, and we covered every angle of the biggest corruption scandal to hit the European Union institutions in decades. In fact, at this very event last year, the member of the European Parliament, Eva Kaili, sat at one of these tables just 2 days before she was arrested on suspicion of money laundering, corruption, and participation in a criminal enterprise. So who will be next? I urge you to watch out for a series we will be publishing soon on this very topic. I also encourage you to, nervous laughter, you hear that? Yeah. I also encourage you to check out our global Power Play podcast, hosted by the brilliant Anne McElvoy, our newly launched global playbook newsletter by Suzanne Lynch, former author of Brussels Playbook, and our revamped EU Confidential podcast, now hosted by the excellent author of Politico's EU Influence newsletter, Sarah Wheaton. Congratulations to all my colleagues for an excellent, excellent year, and here's to an even bigger one in 2024. Now I would like to invite Tony West from Uber to make a few remarks, say a few words.
That's quite, that is quite some walk-on music. Does create quite the expectation. Good evening, thank you Jamil and Goli and Nico for having me here tonight. Madam President, it is good to see you. It is really a pleasure to be back in Brussels, the heart of Europe, and to be with all of you tonight at this incredible gathering. This is an evening of celebration and reflection. Gathered together tonight is a really remarkable collection of the talent, the creativity, the energy that is at the core of Europe's dynamism. Not only are you leaders shaping the future of the EU, you are important voices at a crucial moment in our history, and tonight we celebrate your contributions, important contributions to the world. Yet this is also an evening to reflect on where the world is and where it is going. Tonight we grapple with the heartbreaking loss of innocent life in the Middle East. Tonight we're reminded of just how much is at stake in Ukraine's continuing courageous defense against Russian aggression. And tonight we are acutely aware that as democratic values are being tested and threatened all around the world, many look here to Europe as a symbol of resilience and hope, especially next year when 2 billion people across 50 countries, including my own, will go to the polls. They look to Europe because democracy was born here, developed and flourished here, has been attacked and survived right here, and is exported throughout the world from here. And as the world deals with everything from creating economic opportunity to promoting sustainability, from battling intolerance and promoting peace, from embracing the opportunity to confronting the challenges of technological innovation, many look to the EU for blueprints that will profoundly shape our shared destiny. I have seen the important influence of European leadership throughout my own career. I saw it firsthand as a senior U.S. Department official in the Obama administration as I collaborated with my European law enforcement counterparts on issues of transnational crime and trafficking. I see it now, having spent the last 6 years as Uber's chief legal officer, how at Uber, we've increasingly adopted the European way as our own. From our goal to be a zero-emission platform by 2030 to partnering with labor unions across this continent to give independent workers the protections they deserve. And we see it tonight as we meet here in a place that was once a monument to colonialism and conquest, yet now stands reborn as a testament to honest self-reflection and a fervent determination to learn from the past, not to repeat it. That's the kind of leadership that the EU offers in this 21st century. And that's what makes yours such a credible and sorely needed voice when it comes to promoting freedom, advancing equality, and defending human dignity all around the world. So tonight, I'm especially honored to be here both as a proud citizen of the United States and a citizen of the world, and as one who knows from my own experience that the EU and the US, we share a special bond. We're more than just close allies. We are close friends. And while our transatlantic friendship is not without differences from time to time, I believe that friendship, based on shared values, is fundamental. I believe it is enduring. And I believe, if not the last, certainly the best hope for our collective future. Thank you. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to tonight's discussion.